Hello, the personification of multi-million-dollar television network, Channel 7. Today I'll be interviewing you alongside the smaller government-funded television network, SBS. So, first question of the day, how are you doing? What with all this corona nonsense going on, who have you been stuck with at home?
Hi Sam, well I've been good thanks through this whole pandemic. I've been stuck with the family, house rules, sunrise, home and away. The Better Homes and Gardens magazine did move in with Bauer, which is a shame, but I already had my hands full as it is, so I've actually been doing quite well through this pandemic.
Great, great. And you, SBS?
Yeah, it's been pretty erratic over here. We were supposed to have Fargo come over, but he got stuck in America. But we did actually get quite a few of our shows to stay with us and keep airing. We had X-Files move back in for a while and do its little act again. And we even got to keep our foreign news over here from foreign places. So that was pretty good, yeah.
Wow. As we can tell, the coronavirus is really hitting modern media pretty hard. So what would you say, as a television network, changes the construction of your shows?
Well, as a privately funded company, we do try to make shows that will attract the highest audiences for our advertisers, and we try and make them as cost effective as possible. So usually this includes reality shows, which are a big hit. For example, we launched Big Brother last week, which launched to 900,000 viewers, which was a great result. We also have our news program, 7 News, every night, which usually rates pretty well over 1 million, which our advertisers really do like, especially in Melbourne. We also had the AFL launch recently, which always brings in some great ratings. So we try to make these shows that will bring in the biggest ratings possible at the lowest cost available for our advertisers.
And what about you, SBS?
Well, public funding allows us to mostly ignore how a show's rating and allows us to make shows on more niche subjects. A great example of this would be Sunshine, which was our mini-series from 2017 about a group of South Sudanese youth in their 20s navigating their way through life. It's about mainly Jacob Garang. Their friend Santino, a notorious car thief, takes a nice car and takes the boys on a joyride. They think nothing of it. But then when they hit the club, Santino finds out that someone took the car back from him and returned it to the residents. Obviously, Santino gets caught, but it turns out he bit off a bit more than he could chew when he gets charged with the assault of 15-year-old Ellie, who's the child of the parents who owned the car. Then Zara, a disgruntled lawyer, slowly tries to prove the boy's innocence, all while Jacob is trying to win his state basketball championship so he can impress a talent scout and go pro in America. He gets the help of retired pro basketball player Eddie, who now owns the sports store in Sunshine. As Eddie's secrets get revealed by his bratty kid, he is forced to make peace with his past. The show probably wouldn't have been made by a private company like Channel 7, because it went against the public narrative that was being reported at the time and humanized the South Sudanese community that was being portrayed to be going around and destroying property at the time and beating people up in their own homes. In addition to that, we also air foreign news, which wouldn't otherwise get shown in Australia due to a low viewer count.
Wow, SBS, that's great. I didn't know you had such interesting shows with such diverse casts and characters that differ from the current public narrative. Channel 7, do you think you would ever air a show that would spark as much controversy as that?
That actually might be a good idea. Wait a sec. Guys, I have a great idea. What if we did a show about how the police in America assaulting innocent people are the real victims? What the f***?
Well, let's get back into the interview. SBS, do you think it's important to air shows that have a diverse cast, and why? Also, do you think it's important to show a diverse cast if it's a non-fiction or a fictional show?
Well, of course it's important to air shows with diverse casts. Not only is it immoral, but it's also improbable from a world-building standpoint to air a show with only straight white male characters. Australia is a melting pot of cultures. Approximately 49% of us have been born in another country or have parents that were born in another country. As well as that, 21% of us are bilingual, speaking English and another language at home. To have a show with a predominantly white cast is both inaccurate and immoral. By only having white people to make up the main cast of a TV show, it's more likely that people of colour will get stuck in less important roles where they will often be portrayed as stereotypes. Also, people feel good when they can see people like themselves on the screen, so robbing everyone but Caucasians of this right is wrong. In terms of non-fiction, diversity still matters. Stories about Aborigines or immigrants are still very important stories to tell, such as Romulus, My Father, a book about the story of Romulus, which was authored in 1998 and then adapted to film in 2007. The book tells the story of Romulus, written and narrated by Raymond Gaita, his son. The story gives us knowledge of what it was like to grow up in Australia in the 1950s, which is something we normally wouldn't actually have much knowledge of, especially with more traditional stories like Ned Kelly. In terms of the news, it's also very important to have diverse viewpoints, because having only one viewpoint quite restricts what we know about the story.
Wow, that's very insightful, isn't it? So, Channel 7, what are your thoughts?
Well, as I said, I agree, but as a private company that relies on advertisers, a show like Sunshine probably won't get as many ratings as some of our other shows that we normally air. Interesting and complicated crime shows can be pretty difficult to understand after a long day in the office, so some of our viewers might not like a show like Sunshine after coming back from work. So sure, Sunshine might have been a terrific show, but if we air multiple complicated, thought-provoking shows like Sunshine, we would likely lose a lot of money. So we'll stick to the shows we air that rate a little more consistently.
Well, that's fair. Well, that about wraps it up. Any closing thoughts from any of you two?
Well, yeah, I had a great time here today, and I hope everyone at home did as well. Yeah. Thanks for this great time, Sam.
Well, that's been that. I'll see you next time on Show, the show where we talk to shows.